Welcome back to Countdown to Kickoff. We are moments away from the beginning of a big one for the Bulls as they take on the Western Michigan Broncos. UB going for their fourth consecutive win against the defending Mid-American Conference champs. Now joined by Bulls head coach Lance Leipold to preview today's game. But first, Coach, a couple of quick thoughts on the win over Kent State a week ago. Another one of those check boxes for your ever-maturing team, which is going on the road, winning a MAC game on the road, winning a hard-fought game, being pushed a little bit in the second half. What'd you learn about your team after that one?
Well, I think there's a lot of things that you said right there that are definitely pluses as we keep moving forward. We had changes of momentum, which happen in every game, but sometimes in years past we didn't always handle those real well. We were able to do some things, create some momentum in special teams, get a goal line stop, take it at the 1 yard line, drive it 99 yards and score. A lot of things in there. Hold on, run the ball and get some first downs when we needed to, and find a way to win a game.
And you do it all with your backup quarterback. So give us an assessment of how Drew Anderson played and what he was able to do to help get that win.
Yeah, again, Drew continues to grow. I think by all accounts, anybody that watched or listened, he probably didn't get off to the start he wanted to. But again, Sam had never panicked. Even he found himself to get in a rhythm. I thought one of the, a great throw to Zach Lefebvre down the seam, and I think that helped his confidence. I thought he did some nice things. He got a nice ball to KJ Osborne. There are some throws that maybe don't always show up, but were well thrown on. His touch is excellent, and I thought, again, he played an excellent football game.
With Bulls head coach Lance Leipold here on Countdown to Kickoff as we move ever closer to the start of the Bulls and the Western Michigan Broncos. Let's talk a little bit about the Broncos. It is our town BMW keys to the game. But before we talk about this year's Broncos, let's talk a little bit about last year's game. And fans will remember it, the college game day, Western Michigan trying to stay undefeated on their quest to win a title and eventually go to the Cotton Bowl. And your team gets right in the middle of all that. But as you've looked back on that game, there were a lot of things that you liked maybe other than the final score.
Yeah, again, it's a 60-minute game, Paul, but you take parts of it where we were at that time of the year. Tyree Jackson was not suited up for that game, and really how we came out and played with a great amount of enthusiasm and executed really well. I thought for about 25 minutes or so there, right, and then right before the half, I think some of their speed and athleticism started to put us in some situations where they started to pull away and then took command in the second half. We've got to be able to take some of that early first quarter things that we were able to do, sustain that a little bit more, build off the things from early this season, and go out there and compete today.
They're a different team. They have a different coach. P.J. Fleck, obviously, we know, has moved on to Minnesota. Tim Lester is the new head coach. Zach Terrell, the outstanding quarterback, is gone. So is Corey Davis, who was a top 10 NFL draft pick. So much like every team every year in college football, things change. What's been different? What have you noticed the most about this year's version of the Broncos?
Yeah, I think a little bit early on, I think especially with a starting quarterback and maybe some graduation at the receiver spot like you're alluding to, I think they probably were a little bit, wanting to get their run game established. And then when you have three running backs like they do, that's a pretty good coaching move, okay? You're going to get yourself established on the ground and then complement it with your pass game, and they've done a nice job there. They're still athletic in the back end of their defense, and they're going to utilize that to their advantage. Very active. And the thing is, this team has won a lot of games, and when you win a lot of games, just like we're learning with our guys, becomes more confident. And this group of players who played a lot of football last year are still playing for Western Michigan with a lot of confidence.
Talk about those running backs, because that's going to be a real key to this game, and we're going to see at least three of them through the course of this game. Jamari Bogan, a little more of the speed and quickness guy. Jarvion Franklin, a little more of the big bull. And Levante Bellamy's kind of a little bit of both, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a little bit of each one of them. So they all have had a tendency to be very productive, have received all conference player of the year type or freshman of the year honors. So, they've all had their chance to shine and make the most of their opportunities. So no matter who's in the game, you'll be able to tell maybe the inside run versus outside run. But the bottom line is we've got to be where we're supposed to be, and we need to tackle well.
Yeah, they have an outstanding offensive line. They have a left tackle who's an NFL prospect, but the real guy that has some NFL attention, and we know there's probably going to be some scouts at this game today, and one of the reasons they're there is to watch number 4, Darius Phillips, their outstanding cornerback, all-MAC corner, all-MAC return guy. He's already taken 2 kickoffs back for touchdowns already this year. He has 11 career touchdowns on returns. Kickoff kickoffs, punts, fumbles, and interceptions. He may be as dynamic a player as the MAC has seen in years. How do you account for that?
Well, we have to tackle well, like I just said first, when he does get the ball in his hands. We also have to do a great job in coverage lanes. We also have to do a great job in the kicking game. And that means, whether it be through hang time, whether it be through touchbacks, whatever it may be, we've got to be able to do well. So everybody's got to do their part today. Of course, when he's a defensive back, making good decisions, running great routes, being at the right depth, ball security once the ball's been caught, or as we're runners, making sure that we don't get the ball stripped out. All those things will be very important. And when you have a player that is as dynamic as he is.
Speaking with Bulls head coach Lance Leipold here on Countdown to Kickoff. Well, here's a quick little strategy coaching question for you. You have a clear number one receiver in Anthony Johnson, one of the best guys in the MAC. They have obviously a clear number one corner, one of the best guys in the MAC. Do you expect that to be a battle all day long? Can you get Anthony away from Phillips, or are they going to try to make sure that there's a mirror going on there?
Well, that's probably more on their end to determine what they're going to do. We do line Anthony up in different spots and try to take advantage of his athleticism and different things, and it's for reasons like that. But, they haven't done that all the time. And that's playing against the USC Trojans and Michigan States of the world. So I'm not sure what they'll do. I think they're confident in their whole secondary, but I know Anthony is ready for the challenge today as well.
All right, wrapping things up with Bulls head coach Lance Leipold. We're getting close to kickoff between the Bulls and Western Michigan. A couple of quick keys to the game for your team to pull off a big win here today.
Well, I think I hit on a couple earlier. One is going to be defensively. We got to be able to stop the run, and we need to tackle well. Special teams wise, we've got to minimize the opportunities of big yards or big plays from Phillips as if he gets the ball in his hands. And then for us offensively, we've got to be able to continue to establish the run game that we've been able to do the last few weeks. And again, then get the ball to Anthony Johnson in some different ways as well as our other receivers off of that.
All right, it's time to find out how all that's going to work because it's almost kickoff time between the Bulls and Western Michigan. Coach, appreciate the time. Good luck going for 4 in a row.
Thank you very much.
That is Bulls head coach Lance Leipold. Much more to come as we're getting close to kickoff between Buffalo and Western Michigan. This has been the Town BMW Keys to the Game, part of Countdown to Kickoff on Learfield.